Oh, fancy seeing you guys here. The NFL draft is tomorrow, and so we are ready to party. Who is it going to be? What is it going on? And what have we heard lately? Plus, Micah Parsons talked yesterday, and we've got Clarence and Joe here with everything you need to know. Strap in. Get ready. It's the DLLS Cowboys podcast, and it starts... Meow. Hello, friends. It's good to see you. Who will it be? You tell me in the chat. If you get it right, I will not give you a prize, but I'll remember. I'll tell my friends that you crushed it. Welcome to today's DLLS Cowboys podcast. It's good to have you guys with us. We have the very latest on things happening with Micah Parsons, and of course, tomorrow is the NFL draft, so make sure that you are joining us tomorrow evening at 6:45 p.m., and we'll take you through the entire first round. It'll be a great time, okay? Or else. Not a threat, of course. Please hit the like button. Make sure you're subscribed while you're here, and hello, my name is Jeff. Next to me is the greatest beat writer in the history of the Dallas Cowboys, Mr. Clarence Hill.
Club hop hop, where legends drop. Clarence Hill just can't stop. Breaking news, you gotta hop in club hop hop.
Can I share something real quick?
Oh, crap.
We're already off the rails.
My daughter asked me, now who do you work for again?
Yeah.
I'm like, I attend everything you do.
Yeah.
I show up everywhere you go.
Yeah.
You can't take that. You can't Google. I've sent it out.
Oh, if you'd have told your daughter Google
Me would be hilarious.
But I'm saying it's
if you'd have
simple.
told her to Google
Google me.
But it's simple, okay? But I go everywhere you go. I take interest in what you do.
Yeah, that's
all
nice
you
of
ask me is for his money,
Yeah.
okay?
Yeah.
And you don't know where I work.
Yeah.
I post it on all my socials.
Yeah. They don't follow you.
You good?
No, I'm not good.
I was going to say,
Yeah.
you want a hug?
I'm good.
Okay.
I'll say, say a prayer, a vibe, send a vibe to Clarence for his mentals, if you could. Next to Clarence is the greatest beat writer in the history of the Cowboys, Mr. Joe Hoyt.
Tell him something, Joe.
Got anything you need to get off your chest? Anything to bitch about? Just off the top?
No, I'm good.
All right. You gonna have any kids?
Anyone watching Draft Day? Yes. Okay. Everyone, go home tonight
No.
and watch Draft Day
Oh my
with Kevin
God.
Costner. I do it
No.
every single year.
No.
It is my annual tradition.
No.
I want my picks
No.
back and David Putney for the hell of it, okay?
No.
Go watch Draft Day.
No.
Okay, go up. I got to do the Jesse. I got to see who's the first
Oh,
winner.
who's the first person that commented before the show even starts? Dan.
Dan!
Yeah.
Is that the Jesse?
Shout out to Dan. Yeah, we're about to go drafting. We are going to start the show, though, with some things that are timely and breaking because you guys were at the Star yesterday because you work incredibly hard. I call you Two Scoops.
Two Scoops.
Together, your nickname is Two Scoops. So what do I need to know about Micah Parsons?
You wanna go
Well,
first?
it's interesting.
It better be
Very
interesting, obviously.
So obviously we talked last night, Jerry and Steve, and talked about Micah. So everybody's happy that Micah's participating and where we are with the contract situation. That's going to be a daily, weekly, monthly story until they sign him. Steven said they have a different number. The Cowboys have one number. Micah has another.
I thought they already had the numbers.
Jerry confirmed my report again that they are on the same page.
Huh.
He's good with the numbers, all of that. They still haven't talked to the agent.
Even though Micah wants him to.
And Micah,
Then how do they know the numbers?
because Jerry and Micah
I'm so confused by them.
have a handshake deal on this.
Who did this?
Not me.
Who's leaving rappers on the set?
There's a rapper lever.
The hockey show. Why are you interrupting me? So we talked to Micah last night at the home run derby. He was awful. He thought he bought a new
Wait,
$1,000
what?
bat.
Did he have the torpedo bat?
He had a bat. He didn't have that
He
bat.
didn't have a torpedo bat.
But
He looked the part, though.
He bought a brand new. He branded the pitches because he can knock it out the park. But baseball is about consistency. He didn't have a good day. The damn punter won for the second year in a row. No, that's a whole nother story.
Brian Anger's good at softball.
Jalen Tolbert was drafted in NFL.
I know, and
in
he's
Major League Baseball draft. He had 4 out of the park out of Major League home runs.
I know, but he didn't win.
He didn't win because he hit enough home runs. But the damn punter won again. But Micah talked about the contract, and he said the main takeaway is number one is that he wants to get a deal done before training camp. He thinks it's important. Jerry doesn't think it's important again. He's doubled down on that.
Yeah.
Micah said that, yes, he's here. He's working. He showed up because Shotty wanted him to be here. He wants to show leadership. He also wants to learn the new defense. He has not been a part of the offseason program the last 3 years. But he pointed out it's something that we've noted in this common sense. Yeah, you're here. But when they start from just lifting weights and running to doing teamwork, he would just go to meetings. He's not going to do nothing on the field. He's going to do what we call a hold in. But he's not going to do any on-field work. But he's going to show up and bond with his teammates and work out, lift weights.
Yeah.
But it'll be more of a hold in if he doesn't get a deal done.
Yeah, a couple other notes too. When he was asked, hey, do you still not need $40 million? And to use a draft day for reference, we live in a different world than we did 15 minutes ago.
Right.
He pointed out the fact that a lot of guys have since signed then, bumping up his number, which is kind of a reality at this point. I mean, obviously, he's going to get more than that at this point. And another thing, too, he was asked about the ordeal with DeMarcus Lawrence on Twitter and kind of what that meant. And kind of his whole response was, we're not going to let anything from the outside get into our locker room now. He's like, we kind of want to wash away some of the things that
you did
hampered us a little bit with the old regime, is what he said.
Okay.
And he wants
We're not
to
putting up with that BS and stuff.
that BS.
He said BS.
He was
Tank
pretty
Lawrence BS.
Yeah.
He was pretty
Oh,
adamant.
yeah.
He said it's a new regime.
Yeah.
We got new leaders, and I'm
Hell
not putting up
yeah.
with that old BS.
That's what I'm
So
talking about.
he was strong on that. But getting back to the $40 million thing, I just hate the gotcha journalism. You said in December you didn't need 40. We all got common sense, right?
Yeah.
The numbers have changed. The market
Different world.
has changed. Nobody was making 40 in December.
Yeah.
Now the people he's compared to make 40. Why do we try to hold him to something he said in December? We know that.
Yeah.
But it's like, oh, you said December. Now you're going back on that. You're greedy. No. The market has changed.
Y'all not gonna get me. Not today.
The market has changed.
What do you mean
Draft
we're
is
not
tomo-
gonna get
Y'all,
you?
The draft is tomorrow.
Yeah, we got 3 segments for that. But
Y'all
right now,
not gonna get me.
you can let it out now.
Nothing to let out.
So
How?
the Cowboys are, and they also have not entered any negotiations with Tyler Smith and Deron Bland about a contract extension. They're
Whatever.
not doing nothing early.
Of course not.
And I was been a long conversation with somebody from the Cowboys this morning over my coverage, and they don't think it's important to pay early because they don't want to make a mistake.
Of course.
Yeah,
And
that's
I'm
what
like-
they said yesterday.
Yeah, because they could get hurt. They could snap their leg in half, and you could worry if they're ever going to play again, and then you could set the market with them, even though
I
they
said
snapped
the
their leg in
Cowboys
half.
have, but you'll never. They say they want to. I said you never know. Did you know Trayvon Diggs? Did you know? Miles.
think they
You can never know. You can never have.
I got to come up with a nickname for Jerry that involves the word pucker, because I just think like he just doesn't want to pay anybody. The guys who are the best, you're paying them, and
Yes.
exactly the amount you're paying them at any given day, and you
Yes.
know when the next guy gets it,
Right.
exactly how much you're paying him the next day because it's going up. And everything about what you were reporting, and you are the greatest beat writer in the history of the Cowboys. I want you to know that. Okay, this is a compliment sandwich coming at you. You are the greatest beat writer in the history of the Cowboys.
But
Steven said that our number and their number don't match.
Yeah.
Jerry and Micah are agreed on the numbers.
Yeah.
And they haven't talked to the agent at all.
Yeah.
None of that makes sense.
it doesn't.
How does Steven know that they don't match numbers if you haven't talked to the agent? And the only reference point you would have if you haven't talked to the agent would be Jerry and Micah's conversations, which they say that they absolutely agree. So where are you coming up with the idea that you don't agree when you haven't talked to the other person who would be involved in that negotiation?
I don't know how much. I don't know how much Steven and Jerry are effectively communicating with each other because even when we were going back to the Schottenheimer press conference, I think it was you asked Jerry, was
me.
Deion Sanders a candidate? I asked Stephen Jones, was Deion Sanders a candidate? And we got 2 different answers. So
Well, the Deion Sanders thing was a smoke screen, and they just trying to cover.
I know, but one person said he was a candidate, and the other person said he wasn't.
They're just trying to cover their butt. But
Not today.
according to the Cowboys, Steven and Jerry are on the same page,
Okay.
and we're reading too much into what Steven said, even though he said what he said.
Okay, so Steven said
Steven-
something, but we're supposed to ignore that, pretend he didn't.
Yeah,
And we're going to go with what Jerry said,
yeah.
but also without the...
They don't have a deal
I mean, if they
done.
said what they said, they said what they
But the
said.
point is, and
You're
I
not
think
gonna
it's
give
an
me
accurate
today.
point, and one thing I've been consistent on,
You know,
whatever the deal is, they're not trying to pull a wool over Michael's head. Okay, Micah, they're not trying to hose him in the
oh,
negotiation.
is somebody getting mad at you? I'll say it. Jerry, all he wants to do in a negotiation is pull the wool over the player's eyes, get him to sign for the least that he can, and that makes sense because there's a salary cap. I'm not mad at him for trying, but the fact that stops you from actually getting something done because most players aren't idiots and they have professionals standing
Right.
behind them
Right.
to make sure that a contract that they sign makes sense for them. What you're effectively doing is wasting time. Like, Jerry, you're just farting around in an office eating Reese's Pieces with Micah and making no progress if you guys are talking about the contract because that ain't who's going to negotiate it, my brother.
But they're going to get the deal done.
Jeffing around.
They're
Jeffing
absolutely
around.
going to get it done.
Yeah.
They're going to get it done.
They're gonna get it
But
done.
they
For-
want to make.
and it's gonna be a very high
but
price.
they want it known that the contract will be the highest. What they've already agreed on is the highest non-quarterback deal in the league.
Outstanding.
Okay, so it's not like they're not doing a Tyron Smith thing. This is the highest non-quarterback in the league. Yes, they haven't talked to the agent, but they're not trying to make him take less money by doing an end run.
Yeah, of course
Yeah,
not. Yeah, no.
Well, I mean, on paper, that's not what's been agreed on. It's not. There's not an end run.
Find upstanding gentlemen.
Also, one other note. You asked this, I believe.
Say a note that's going to make me mad. I dare you.
Micah hasn't talked to Jerry in a while. He said we'll probably talk again soon. But he also asked Jerry apparently to speak to David Mulligetta.
Yeah, which
has not happened.
Right.
That's because Jerry plays by Jerry rules. You don't get to ask him to do anything.
You don't pick up the phone.
He is the hero.
And
He is here for your single mom. He is. You worship at the altar of him. He does not have to listen to anything anyone else has to say. It's about him.
Yeah.
Nate.
That guy who said, read my super chat.
Yes.
Okay. Leadership talk from number 11 doesn't feel genuine. See, now that is not the sort of speculation we're going to do. It's an off
Casey.
season. In the off season, we do optimism.
KC, tell me how many titles they won with those good leaders.
Hold on. Who this guy want
Them
me to
good
drop?
leaders. The Marcus Lawrence and the Jason Widdens and the Zach Martins. How many titles they win with them good leaders?
They didn't.
Jeff,
I think leadership can be overrated.
please grow up. The crap is unnecessary. You're right, and I will eliminate any personality going forward. We will.
Don't
No,
do
yeah,
that.
yeah. We're
What
just
about
gonna,
Mo-
we're just
Mo-
gonna
No, I love
talk.
the
We're
Mo-
just gonna talk.
Mo Surge, I feel your pain, Clarence.
All I do is give you money, and you don't know what I do either. Why don't you figure out what Mo does? What do you think Mo does?
Surge.
He's
surging.
electric. He's an
He's surging. You're
electric guy.
Electrician, Mo.
That's fair. Yeah, welcome in everybody. Yeah, so that's
Come on, Claymore. Y'all on my Twitter last night.
Do you want to know a positive thing?
I would love a positive thing. I'm trying to get excited for the draft, and y'all keep talking to
Well,
Micah
here's-
Parsons, and I don't want to
Okay,
talk about.
they're not drafting a quarterback.
Yeah, that's a positive.
Is that a positive?
Yeah.
They're not drafting a quarterback in the first round?
No. Breaking news.
What if they do?
I can't believe that
They're not.
What
that
if
was
they
like
do?
a question yesterday. One positive thing, if you kind of listen to all the players we talked to yesterday, everyone is singing the praises of Brian Schottenheimer. And I think, you hear like, okay, well, tell me about it or show me it, right? Well, Micah Parsons said when I asked him why was it important to show up to voluntary workouts, he's like, oh, well, Brian Schottenheimer showed up at my events.
Yeah.
And he's made efforts to meet me in the halfway. And he said, please, I think from a leadership standpoint, it would mean a lot if you came and were there and it would be good for the team. And so he agreed to it. So long story short on that, I think Brian Schottenheimer is making an impression without games yet, and that's what he'll ultimately be judged by, is making an impression on the culture of this locker
Why
room.
you have to bring up that event that I didn't go to the after party to?
Because I wanted you to bring it up on your own.
You did bring it up on your own.
Why you gonna bring up that event? So one of the great quotes was Ferguson talk about how happy is HE double hockey
HE
stick.
double hockey sticks.
Is that the way he said it?
Yeah.
He
That's
didn't
how he
even-
said it about
he didn't say
Schottenheimer.
hell.
He said HE
He said
double
HE double hockey
HE
sticks.
double hockey sticks about. She said he comes shot. He just every time he works out, he's there in his ear. He just feels
He's in the
so
cold tub. He's stopping by.
Yeah. What it reminded me of the Kevin Hart interviews he does from the cold tub with the players. So he said, I'm in the cold. Every time I'm in the cold tub, Shotty's there. He's in the cold tub. I mean, he's talking to me in the cold tub. I know. I'm just saying. So that's where my mind went. Really? He said, I'm just saying. I'm just so happy it's HE double hockey sticks to see Shotty and
I
to
can
come
see
to work
Shotty.
every day.
I can see Shotty. I can see Shotty just hovering in the room where the tubs are and waiting for somebody to walk in, but getting in. I'm with you. Let's get it.
Let's ride.
Chill, please don't. This is Jason in Super Chat. Chill, please don't call Tank a good leader ever again. It's sacrilege.
But my point is, compared to Micah, we've considered him a good leader. That's why we're having this fight, and everybody, no one likes Micah or how he moves, and Tank was the leader in the locker room. So that's the only thing I'm trying to compare.
If you made me guess who I would be like, who has more leadership traits out of those two, I would probably guess Tank. But he was also the quarterback of the Hot Boys thing.
Yeah,
it was like a you guys aren't any good. You
Right.
don't do nicknames if you're not any good.
Right.
Y'all need to chill out a little
He
bit.
had mentioned early in his career. We would forget, you know.
Jalen Smith wearing a Hot Boys chain.
He was suspended early in his career. He went broke early in his career.
Oh.
I mean,
You pocket watching?
You pocket
You
watching.
doing a little pocket watching?
no, he talked about it. He told me.
Oh.
So I'm just talking about leadership and traits. We're talking about leadership and traits.
Pocket watch.
That's all.
Popo's supposed to be pocket watching. He got to see if there's any strange
Popo
transactions.
Joe, I'm just talking in general.
Coming up next on the DLS Cowboys podcast, we'll go around the Cowboys draft predictions from all of the smart people. What is going to happen? The very latest on Rumorooskies. All of those things as we get ready to go drafting. That is next on the DLLS Cowboys podcast. But first, let's talk about your floor, okay? What do you like on your floor? You guys know by now, I'm a hood. I'm a hood guy. I like the hood. Why? Because you can clean it easier.
Oh, that's it.
You have an animal accident. Yeah.
That's it.
The hood.
That's the reason.
Wood's easy to clean. Tiles easy to clean. I like those kind of things. But you might be old school. You might be kicking at carpet. I don't know. Our friends at Empire Today is all you need to know, though. Empire Today is absolutely the best of the best when it comes to flooring. We've all been to the big box stores where you're walking endlessly around the aisles and then somehow you're hauling all this stuff home and you're looking for an installer and you're trying to coordinate all these things yourself. And it's terrible. They might have a flooring department, but that guy was just dealing with the lawnmowers too. Empire Today is your best bet for flooring. They live and breathe flooring. Their experts bring the showroom right to your home. You'll get clear, upfront, and all-inclusive pricing. It's our friends at Empire Today. Check them out. You get a $350 discount when you use the promo code DLLS. $350 discount with the code DLLS. EmpireToday.com/DLLS for full details. Also, want to tell you about our new friends. Some people say no new friends. I say all new friends. Shout out to our friends at the Lone Star Smokeout. It's barbecue and country music. What's more Texas than that? The Lone Star Smokeout coming to AT&T Stadium
Spinners.
May 2nd through 4th. Try barbecue from 14 teams across the United States. Decide for yourself who's really the champ. The answer is me. They're lucky I'm not in the contest. Maybe I need to get in it. Pair all that with events each day like Texas' biggest happy hour, Derby Day, Cinco de Mayo, a day early. Country's biggest stars like Cody Jinks, John Party, and Midland. They'll be performing. Stay tuned to us, DLLS, for information about our upcoming VIP ticket giveaway for each day of the Smokeout. Yes, that is the
Can I get
Lone
a
Star
ticket?
Smokeout.
Can I get a free ticket?
I'll see what I can do for you.
I need two.
Kids 10 and under get in free in general admission if you want that. Tickets start just $68. Don't miss out. LoneStarSmokeout.com. All right. It is the DLLS Cowboys podcast, and we are talking about your Cowboys draft. Fran Duffy is going to join us in our next segment here in about 12 to 15 minutes. He's got his consensus mock draft coming out today, and you need to make sure that you are signed up to be a diehard so you have access to all of his things for draft day. You want to have those rankings, those scouting reports, all the different
Can
things.
I do a quick thank you?
And I trust your rankings.
Yeah, can I do a quick thank you to all our new diehards because
thank
we've
you.
had so many signups that we have actually surpassed every other All-City network in our recent diehard sale. So thank you.
we haven't.
We literally
Yes,
have.
we have.
We're winning.
We're
winning.
We're number one. Philly, he's not above us.
We are the champions of the world.
But they are on our behind. So
Enjoy.
sign up.
Joe, you're not beating them Chargers.
We're the smallest and
What
the
do you-
newest. We're winning.
We're not beating
We're
them out.
winning.
We're
not
winning some
beating them-
stuff.
we're not
We
beating
are
them
literally
out.
winning.
So somebody wants to know where you get your haircut. On Oaklawn, you go to Oaklawn, you hang out
I'm
in Oaklawn?
confused with what allegation.
I'm trying to figure out, you get, you know, that Oaklawn area, is that where you
No,
get
I
your
get my haircut today.
Hey.
Somebody asked
No, I
in the
get-
Yeah,
chat.
they didn't say the Oaklawn part.
Yes, they did.
Did they?
Yes. Jeff, where do you get your haircut? Oaklawn area.
Well, we know
I
what.
don't make up stuff.
Is that a
No.
reference to Oaklawn being known as the Gaberhood?
I don't know. You have to ask him. I'm just asking.
No, I think
I'm
we all
trying-
exist on a scale. I'm pretty low on it. Never ventured that way myself. I mean, I've been to Oaklawn. It's a wonderful place.
Oaklawn's awesome.
And I think that there are a lot of ways that if I were to go to a place that had frequent gay customers, I'd be incredibly confident in their ability to do the job. That would include hair and dressing me. So I don't, but I should. Yeah.
You look great.
Yes,
You wearing a
yes.
suit for the draft coverage? What are you wearing for the draft
I
coverage?
wasn't planning on it. I was going to go shirtless,
Okay, me too.
banana hammock.
Y'all knock out Dirk right quick.
Dirk's in the super chat. Super important draft question for Jeff. Will Tyler Booker or Omarion Hampton at 12 produce another legendary SMA moment?
That might.
I don't think I'll say those words. I don't think I would say those words.
Nope.
And I'll tell you, I'd like Tyler Booker more than I'd like Omarion Hampton.
That's
How about that?
Speaking of
That's
which,
fair.
How's that feel, buddy?
Feels you like Booker more than Hampton. That's not my agenda.
Oh, okay.
I'm not pushing back on that.
Okay.
I'm pushing back on the notion of taking Booker over Tet or Golden at 12 if they're all on the board.
Camo is Clarence in the chat. He just says they're not drafting a guard at 12.
only the Sith and bad at analysts
Not-
deal in absolutes.
Not
right.
drafting a guard at 12. I will put money on that.
I don't want to put money on it. I just want all of your definitive statements that you can throw out right before, because then we'll remember. Like I'll accidentally make incredibly definitive statements, but I do it a while back.
Yeah.
Once
So-
you get close, you don't want people to remember.
We'll also say a bunch so then we can cut them up, and in case one of them actually
So,
goes wrong, then we can use it on social
unlike
media.
some of these draft nicks and these predictors and these mockers, my statements are based on information, real tea leaves, real dot connecting, not just pulling stuff out of my butt.
He's taking shots at you and me.
No, I'm not.
Yeah.
I'm talking about the national people.
oh no, I'm good. I acknowledge it. I just
talking
put
about,
straight.
I'm talking about the national people.
Right out of
And guys, get your information from local people,
Yeah, there
not
we
the
go.
national guys. They're not talking to nobody. They're not
right.
listening what the Cowboys want and what they talk
Yeah.
about, what they're looking for. Get your information from. I know we do a lot of mock drafts and we talk about
Yeah.
what these guys are saying. Just like the Mel Kiper went with Hampton for 3 straight times, and they went somewhere else the last. They don't know what they're talking about. They have no local contact.
I think it's very important to follow local because, yes, the national people have no idea what they're talking about. And to Clarence's point, he is as good a source of information about the Cowboys as you're going to get. However, if you're into super charismatic, handsome, incredibly talented broadcasters
Who gets their haircut in Oakland?
who just fire off opinions recklessly,
Recklessly.
I'm
Who
here
hates
for-
Jerry?
I'm here for you, too. I don't hate Jerry personally. Personally, he seems fine. He's very nice. He's fed me at Nobu many times. Sweet man. I think he does a poor job in a lot of ways. And he probably thinks I do a poor job, and that's fine.
That's fair.
We have all of the mock drafts come out today. And the reason that I like mock drafts today, way more than I like them a week ago, 2 weeks ago, 3 weeks ago, a month ago, is because now people who do have contacts somewhere around the league, some of them anyway, some might not, they're trying to be right now. Before, you can have fun. You can do exercises. You can get your clicks, whatever. But now, they want to be right. And so I like to see, what are people thinking the day before the draft?
Thank you, Richard.
Peter Schrager. Yeah, Richard just threw one in. Richard, if you
Richard.
send in a text at some point or a chat after this, we'll know that you meant to attach it, and we'll see if we remember to read it. Peter Schrager.
Schrager.
Clarence, come on now. Open it
Oh,
up.
I'm sorry.
Open
I'm
it up.
sorry.
Tyler Booker,
Booger.
Alabama guard at number 12 overall.
Not taking a guard.
Over, by the way, with Schrager, they had Big
Mason Graham was
Mason
available.
Graham,
They had Golden.
Golden available. They had a lot of guys available, and he went Booker.
The most surprising one there to me was that's the only one that I've seen Mason Graham make it all the way to the Cowboys pick. And if they do, I just want people to know, to me, that's a snap pick. Like, you don't have to talk to me about Tetairoa McMillan. You don't have to talk to me about whoever. If Mason Graham's there, I think you actually have one of the real-life first-round graded players sitting on the board.
But he went to Michigan.
Snappy
we can't draft
love.
Michigan. We had 2 failed picks from Michigan. We can't do Michigan.
Aiden Hutchinson
That's not
sucks.
sound like
I know.
Cowboy fan. I'm just saying. I'm talking from a Cowboy point of view. We can't do
Tom
Michigan.
Brady's terrible.
Don't you put that on them. That's your opinion.
Have you
I think.
heard?
I
have you seen the hate for Michigan?
I think that if the Cowboys went Michigan defensive tackle 2 rounds in a row,
With him
it
and
would be
Kenneth
a
Grant?
great draft.
Yeah.
Because their other D tackle, Kenneth Grant, I haven't really seen in a lot of first round mocks lately.
I think he's kind of rising
Like
back up.
hanging around in the 20s on some of them.
I think so.
But yeah, if you wanted to give me both of their defensive tackles, I would be happy as a clam.
There you
You
go.
like romantic movies? True romance?
Yeah.
But it's under
But
Jeff Cavanaugh's
But
name.
you commented under Jeff.
Oh,
I like
somehow
Jack-
you're logged in as that instead
Oh,
of his
Oh.
So I'm like,
Oh,
what?
this is Cat. Okay.
Get off my channel.
like, yo, look at you. You like romantic movies. Look at you.
Wait,
And you get your
Romance is good.
and you get your haircut on
I
Oakland.
need some likes.
Somebody said that they think of true romance when they hear the name Clarence.
Okay.
And that's where she chimed in.
You like romantic
Oh,
movies.
I didn't see this as Cat at the end. I just saw Jeff Cavanaugh is one of my all-time. I like, look at you.
Who said that? Who somebody said it up? Oh, I thought somebody said I was one of their favorite people. We're chatting and watching. Hit the like later. Hit it now. It's good for the algorithm.
Get the numbers up, baby.
I would be surprised if Tyler Booker were the pick at 12. Do I think that he belongs in the first round? Absolutely. Do I think that he is a really nice player? Absolutely. But I think at 12, it's hard for me to believe that he would be the very top of the board.
I think there's a chance he could be there at 44.
If you're there at 44, we will take a fireball tomorrow.
I think there's
Or
a chance he
2
could be at
days. If he's there at
44.
44, we're doing fireball.
And I think this is what you were talking about, like, everyone's saying, like, all these different things from a national perspective. I think they like Tyler Booker, and I think what happens is people tell people in the media, hey, we do like this guy, right? And they think, oh, okay, so that means they'll take him at 12. Well, I don't think that incorporates the value per se, right? Like, for example, like I said yesterday that they like Walter Nolen among a lot of people that they like. But I think that's more indicative of the people they like, that they'd be interested in a trade down because I think they like a lot of guys, including Tyler Booker. So I think I don't see him at 12.
And that's what we're
mean-
talking about. That's my only pushback. It's not against Booker. It's not against your receiver from Ohio State. They're just not options at 12.
I'd take him
It's
back
not-
at 12.
You're not.
I would not even blink.
Hampton is a great player. They're not taking a running back other than Genty at 12.
That's fair.
You're not saying you can't own a gun. You're
Yeah.
not even saying you can't carry a gun. All you're saying is you can't carry a gun in town. That's from Tombstone.
Oh, shout out to Jason, by the way.
Jay's in. Oh, with a 20 bomb.
That's a very nice one.
Big fan, boys. Listen all the time, but never live. Give us Golden, Tyleek, Tootin in the first 3 rounds.
Tootin', you darn tootin'.
That works.
That works for me.
You darn tootin'.
That works for me. And we'll have to talk about Tootin because one of your guys' co-conspirators, one of your colleagues, is dropping his name as it relates to the Cowboys on Twitter this morning.
Who's that?
One of your guys' colleagues.
He dropped who name?
What do you got? You assumed a he? That's sexist.
She?
It was a she.
Jane.
Oh, it was Jane, it was Jane.
I saw her put up a lot of stuff.
Yeah, I would enjoy that draft. So other mocks that have come out very, very recently, some in the last day, some not quite in the last day, but they had for ESPN does a roundup where they have their writers make the pick for their team. So
Right.
Todd
Oh, I saw
Archer,
that.
Todd Archer picked Tetairoa McMillan, and you've always told me you don't respect Todd, but you like Todd, right?
Whoa.
He went with Tetairoa
Whoa.
McMillan. I just
Whoa.
like to make jokes. Todd Archer's great. I love
That's
Todd.
my guy. And,
I love
I've
Todd.
said Ted on this show several times. I would take Ted.
Oh, yeah.
I've said that. Even
Yeah,
though
I'm
y'all think you're just biased for Golden because doing that. I've said that.
No, you're biased.
No,
Right?
you're not wrong with Ted.
And I'm just going through the mocks. I'm not sure what he's all fired up about.
No. You said I didn't.
I didn't go through the mocks.
Hey, go, keep going. My bad. I'm sorry.
My friend John Machota,
Jay,
the Athletic did the same thing where they had their writers pick for
Oh, yeah,
the
what did he
teams.
Uh-huh.
He picked Tetairoa McMillan,
Ted.
Arizona wide receiver.
Okay, what else we got?
Dane Brugler's last one was almost a week ago, but he needs to get in the mix.
Dane.
Matthew Golden,
Golden opportunity.
Daniel Jeremiah, Matthew Golden, Chris Collinsworth, Will Campbell.
Okay.
LSU offensive lineman. If he made it to 12,
Yeah.
I'd take that, no problem.
Okay.
And Fran Duffy does what is called the consensus mock, where he rounds them all up,
Yeah, that was cool.
starting in April. So we're discarding old crap. Otherwise, Ashton Genty would still be considered a Cowboys pick, but he gets rid of the old stuff. And who did Fran Duffy come up with
As the
when he
most
combined
consensus?
everything?
Ted.
Huh?
Ted.
Tetairoa?
Maybe not.
Oh, Matthew Golden. It's Matthew Golden.
Maybe not. But maybe. And we'll tell you next.
And
Fran
they-
joins us. What a tease! Yeah,
Tease
he's going to
them.
join us next on
Tease
the
them,
DLLS
Jeff.
Cowboys
Tease
podcast.
them. I know it ain't.
It was a good tease. Shout out to our friends at Shady Rays. I love
Shady Rays.
I'm actually gonna get on there today. I want to get me some of the volleyball glasses.
I got to get some new ones.
I got to get some of the. I got to get some of the ones where people walk up and they're like, "That dude plays volleyball." You know the big old.
Oh,
ones?
I know the big-
Them
yeah.
big old things.
Oh, yeah.
I'm
But you're going to wear that to like the supermarket or something
Yeah.
because they're fly.
Yeah. Shady Rays is the best sunglasses in the world, the end. And they're giving out their best deal of the season. ShadyRays.com, promo codes DLLS for 35% off your polarized glasses. And they have, 5-star reviews, over 300,000 of them. Durable frames, crystal clear optics. It's the perfect choice for all of your outdoor situations. It's our friend at Shady Rays. Cat, I don't have a timer. I love the Shady Rays. I love to wear them everywhere that I go. Is that it's not, just guess at it.
You got like
Take a
10
guess at
seconds
it.
probably.
If your shades ever go missing or take an unexpected hit, don't worry about it. Shady Rays, they've got the most insane protection in all of eyewear. Every pair backed by lost or broken replacements. Check them out. It is ShadyRays.com. Use the code DLLS, and that will get you 35% off. 35. Love our friends at Sleeper as well. The promo code you need there is DLLS Boys. We play $5, you get $55. We love our daily fantasy. We love making our picks. At least I do. It's the best fantasy league platform out there also. But yeah, I love Sleeper. I'm obsessed. I'm on there all the time. I'm just like, DeGrom, bang, more than strikeouts. Seager,
Oh, yeah.
more
Can you do
than
the draft, by the way?
total bases. I haven't
I think you
checked
can do
on
the draft.
Oh, man. If I can do the draft, I'm going to get
Hold
carried
on.
away.
Let me see.
I'm going to get carried
No
away.
Booker at 12.
All you do is
Follow
you make
the
those
NFL
picks.
draft.
Oh, the more picks you combine, the more you can win, all the way up to 100 times your money with our friends at Sleeper. So new users, download that app. Use the code DLLS Boys. You get $55 in free entries when you place a $5 contest. See Sleeper's terms of use for details. Currently operational in over 25 states. Check out Sleeper today. All right, let's check in with our guy. And he probably deserves a little bit of credit for the fact that we are winning at the new Diehard signups with the draft special. You might kind of be PHLY, but you are all of us. And the fact that we are winning.
We
That's
are the
right.
champions,
We
my
needed a dub
friends.
because they won the Super Bowl. So we're just going to try to get Diehard signups. That's going to be our dub.
That's
We
our
welcome
Super
in
Bowl.
Fran Duffy to join the show right now. Hey, Fran, Jeff Cavanaugh, DLLS Cowboys. How are you?
Jeff, good to see you. Clarence, Joe, good to see all you guys. Missing Jesse today, but you guys will be happy to know that we saw how close the competition was between DLLS and PHLY for diehard subs. And so the petition went out late yesterday to the Eagles fans, like, hey, if you're not a diehard, Dallas is right on the tail and they've passed. So we'll see if that holds up over the next couple days.
Well, you know, Philly hates losing to Dallas more than Dallas hates losing to Philly.
That is
so
true.
they're going to get I see you got a nice little draft haircut. I got to go get my draft cut. You got the
Just
draft
got back.
cut.
Just got
I see
back.
that draft cut.
It's
I
looking
see.
clean. It's looking clean.
Looking good,
There
Fred.
you
Got
go.
that
Thank
draft
you.
cut.
What in the hell is happening right now?
You got a draft haircut.
He makes fun of my hair and then compliments Fran.
That's fair.
It's good to see you,
I
Fran.
don't. Your hair's different every day, Jeff.
I'm a man of variety. I'm a man of spice. I believe in spicing it up. Fran, I was reading your consensus mock draft this morning, and I do thoroughly enjoy that. Just the idea that once we get closer to the draft and people are no longer just throwing crap out, they're trying to be right.
Yep.
What does it look like? So you want to give me the results on the Dallas Cowboys pick and the consensus mock?
Yeah, let me pull this up real quick. So honestly, I've been doing this exercise for the last few years, and it basically in talking with teams, this is going back several years now, just kind of going through how do you guys use mock drafts? What is the process that goes into that? What do you glean from it? Kind of took that process, what they do, and kind of made it for myself. And honestly, it's been a very interesting exercise just to kind of see, like, okay, there are big changes. I remember talking with our editor, with Kevin, and him saying, when I told him I was going to do another version, he's like, yeah, but how much is really going to change? And I said, actually, you will be surprised how much changes in about 3 weeks. And there are a lot of teams where things changed a lot from the end of March. March 27th was the last time we put one out, to April 23rd. So we're talking just under a month. A lot of these teams have changed a lot in that time. Now, back when I did it on March 27th, the 3 leaders for the Cowboys in terms of who were the most popular players mocked them at 12 overall, it was Ashton Genty, Tetairoa McMillan, and then it was a 3-way tie between Armand Membu, Walter Nolen, and Luther Burden. since that point has now been Matthew Golden, most often mocked, with McMillan at second, a close second, and Almarian Hampton at number 3. I'm very interested to see if it is one of those 3, or Joe, if it's somebody not in that top 3.
It could be.
Fran, Jeff Cavanaugh, DLLS Cowboys podcast. For you personally, if I just threw out Tetairoa McMillan, Matthew Golden, I'm trying to think of offensive line possibilities. I'll throw Tyler Booker in.
Yep.
I will throw Will Campbell in. I don't think he makes it there, but who knows? I'll throw Kelvin Banks, and I know you hate him. I love him, and that's fine. If you were putting those in order for you personally, because my one thing is I want them to pick the best available player, the end. That's how you win.
Sure.
I wanted to pick the best player. So, like, out of those options, what would be your best player?
For my best player from that group, it would be Campbell. And I think that Campbell is almost certainly off the board. And I'm trying to cycle back through. So it was McMillan. Who else did you throw in there?
McMillan, Golden, Tyler Booker, Kelvin Banks.
Yep. If memory serves, it would be Booker, McMillan, Banks in that order. I'm a big Booker fan. I mocked him to the Cowboys. Was it back in March or I think it was in that March mock draft, and we talked about it here on the show. Why I felt that a lot of the things that might scare teams away from Booker, I think would not scare the Cowboys as much. I know we've seen him mocked to the Cowboys a couple times here nationally in the last week. So that would not be one that would surprise me if he was the selection. It does go against everything I've heard kind of behind the scenes talking about the Cowboys, where it looks like it's going to be offensive skill player, likely a pass catcher. But here's the thing. I think McMillan is, to me, he makes the most sense there. Everything, it's 50-50 between McMillan and Golden with everyone you talk to. But I think that McMillan kind of fits their profile more. The problem is, guys, is that I'm hearing there's a lot of buzz about McMillan in the top 10 now. When I'm having conversations, it's usually, all right, let's talk about this team. Let's talk about that team. What are you hearing? And I'm hearing McMillan connected to the Jaguars. I'm hearing McMillan connected to the Raiders. I'm hearing McMillan connected to the Panthers and to the Saints, right? And so you start having all these conversations like, man, all right, like what if McMillan is off the board at this point? Is it definitely good? Does that mean it's definitely Matthew Golden? Or does that open the door for a Walter Nolen if he's there? Does that open the door for Tyler Booker? I think that's when it becomes fascinating here for the Dallas Cowboys.
Not taking a guard at 12.
Oh, I love his definitive statements.
Not
It makes me
taking
want them to take a guard
at 12.
Please take a guard.
The question I have is, where does the draft start? Because there's so many wild cards. We don't know where Shador's going. Which team? Is it Jacksonville? Is it the Saints? Where does the draft start that could probably push guys out? And you say, Tech could go early. And I've heard so many different things in your mind and what you're hearing. And where does the draft start and who could potentially get pushed down?
Yeah, I think that the draft starts at 5. I think that's the first real question mark. Most people feel it's going to be Will Campbell at 4 to New England. I think we're leaving the door open a little bit ajar for Jalen Walker to potentially sneak in there. That's been a lot of the reporting in the last 24 hours is that's the other potential selection there for Mike Vrabel and the potential there for a trade out. When I look at Jacksonville, everyone's been penciling in Mason Graham. In my mock draft last week, I had them going with Ashton Genty. So I think that Ashton Genty is definitely a possibility there to the Jacksonville Jaguars. When I do my final mock, it's still early. I've got another 12 hours before I hit submit on that thing.
Oh, come on, Fran!
In pencil, I think I'm probably still going to have Ashton Genty in that spot. That said, I mean, there's been a lot of stuff behind the scenes about Jacksonville potentially trying to trade out. And if Jacksonville trades out, that could be a spot where, depending on how far they trade down, does Tetairoa McMillan end up there? And if Tetairoa McMillan goes to the Jaguars at 10, then what does that mean for the Dallas Cowboys? And I think that's going to be fascinating. In terms of the second part of your question, Clarence, the guy that I think that's in the top 10 that I think has the best chance to fall, I think is the Georgia edge rusher, Jalen Walker. We talked about some of the concerns with him. He's very versatile. The character is impeccable, but what is his best fit? Not everybody is going to definitely be able to envision what his future plan for success is. I think that you need to have a plan with a player like that. I don't think he would fall far. I think 15 to Atlanta, 16 to Arizona. I think that Arizona is the absolute floor for Jalen Walker, but he would be the guy that is like the consensus, quote unquote, top 10 pick that I could see falling out of that part.
Fran, I reported yesterday, you saw that, the Cowboys have done a ton of homework on Walter Nolen. They met with him in the combine, met with him at his pro day. They met with him on a 30 visit. They've really investigated the player and the person. I've even heard that San Francisco likes him a lot too at 11. That could be a place where he ends up going. Mm-hmm. Long story short, I think some Cowboy fans are a little worried. Hey, a lot of talent, but maybe some character things. Why would Cowboy fans potentially be excited about the addition of Walter Nolen on a defensive line?
Yeah, I mean, this is one of my favorite players in this draft, Walter Nolen. I think that, going back to when I first watched him in the fall, I saw absolute upside in any draft. He should go top 15, top 20. And I get that the film isn't always perfect, but to me, when I see the raw explosiveness, the get off, the power, the flashes in the run game, he's a better run defender, I think, than given credit for. I mean, the Cowboys just gave a boatload of money to Osa Odigizua, and to me, he is a much better run defender than what Osa has been over the course of his career. So I think when you're looking at Walter Nolen, a lot to be excited about here with this player. And anytime I've talked about him, people's first, their first response is, all right, well, Fran, if he's this good, why is he being talked about in the late 20s? Why is he falling out of round one mock drafts from Mel Kiper and from Daniel Jeremiah? And I'm sitting here saying, like, I don't know. Like, I know that there's the questions about like the character and how things ended at Texas A&M and all that. But at the end of the day, this might be one of those Occam's razor situation, guys, where it's just like, the simplest answer is he's actually going to go that high. And when I was getting ready for my 7-round mock draft last week, I'm doing all the calls. I'm talking with people all around the league. I found it hard to believe that Walter Nolen was going to get out of the top 22, 23. It just felt like everybody was like, yeah, Walter Nolen, keep an eye out for that team. Keep an eye out for that team. Since I did that first round, I'm more convicted he's going to go higher. I agree with you. I think, honestly, when I do my mock draft, I'm probably going to have him going to the 49ers at 11 tomorrow in my mock draft.
Fran Duffy, it's Jeff Cavanaugh, DLLS Cowboys podcast host, 6'3", 200, 16 years of broadcast experience. Can I throw in another name that I'm curious? Do you have him above all of the names we've kicked around for the Cowboys or not? Because my new obsession is just making sure people know I want them to pick the best player. Pick the best player, it'll go well. Pick the guy that you need, and you'll probably bust. Tyler Warren, Penn State tight end. Colston Loveland, Michigan tight end. I know a lot of people have them as top 10 or 15 players in this class. I'm not a big tight end early guy, but how do you stack them up from a talent perspective with some of the other candidates?
Yeah, I think, look, in a perfect world, Tyler Warren is probably like a mid first round pick. In this draft, he's going to go higher than that. We know this. I think he's going 7 to New York to the Jets. I think that's where he's going to end up. Now, there definitely is a possibility that he goes a little bit lower than that. My understanding is that if he falls to Chicago at 10, that depending on who else is there, they would love to bring Tyler Warren into the fold in that offense. I can't envision him getting too much further than that. In that mock last week, I had the Colts trading up to select him. I do think that's a possibility. So, if you're the Dallas Cowboys, if he gets there, you probably have to weigh that possibility as well. What can we get from the Colts, who are desperate for a playmaker? If he goes 7 to the Jets, to answer the next part of your question with Colston Loveland, I think that Loveland now, the floor is the Colts. Do the Colts try and make a move up to make sure that they get him? When I have talked with teams about both of these tight ends, there are some teams that think both guys are like this and they're even. Some people like Loveland a little bit more. Some people like Warren a little bit more. Other teams see, hey, you know what? Like, I actually think that Warren is a tier above Loveland. He does more as a blocker. Loveland more of like pass catch only. He's not going to be a great blocker. He's a tier below. So it's really going to be a beauty in the eye of the beholder there with those two players and determining how far that they fall in the draft.
Which player is going to be the one that teams screwed up, teams chase need? Your dumb football team just sits there at the end of the first round. Who's going to be the guy that falls in their lap and we go crap? Because the one that Joe and I picked was Walter Nolen. And you may be right that it's impossible and he can't make it. But I fear that that's the one that's going to fall in their lap and they're going to go, okay.
Yeah, Nolan is that guy. If he were to fall, like I said, I don't envision that happening. So a couple other guys that kind of fit that bill. I would put Tyler Booker in that bucket, honestly. I know people are scared off by the combine testing, but the film is just outstanding with what this guy does well. I just love him as a masher at the point of attack in the run game, and he is so strong in pass protection as well. And then I would put Malachi Starks, the safety from Georgia, in that same mold. A guy that didn't wow you from a testing standpoint, where the guy's just a damn good football player. He played so often in the slot at Georgia, and I honestly don't think that that's his role in the NFL. Like, he's not going to be a slot corner. He's going to be a deep safety. Let him kind of be that patrolling center fielder type, play top down, and this guy's going to be lights out for his future NFL team.
Fran Duffy, PHLY/ALLCITY, NFL draft analyst, guru, and just all around badass person with a great haircut. Did you have something, Clarence?
PHLY number 2.
Oh, number 2.
Number 2 behind DLLS.
That's interesting because that
number
is the version of going to the bathroom that I believe that city represents. Fran, thanks for stopping by.
He said,
Good way to go up. See, we were on such good terms this week. Yeah, and then you got this. You got to end it that way. It was everything was going so well, but we'll try again tomorrow.
Bye, Fran. Enjoy the draft.
Man. Appreciate you.
Make sure that you are signed up to be a diehard, and don't do it on their site. Do it on ours to get access to Fran's stuff. Make sure you're signing up at alldlls.com. Well, I guess that could be part of the read, huh? Coming up next, more of the very latest rumorooskies of what the Cowboys may be interested in and whatnot for Clarence to swat out of the building if it didn't come from him. And so we'll just be ready for that next on the DLLS Cowboys podcast. But yeah, it is a great time to sign up to be a diehard, and we would love it if you would do that. So you go to alldlls.com/diehard and you get signed up, or you can use the QR code that is on your screen right here on YouTube. You can do it either way, whatever makes you happy. If you're a QR code guy, QR codes kind of creep me out, but maybe not you. They do. But yeah, sign up to be a diehard. It's a great deal right now. Normally it's about $80 a year. Now it is $36 for your first year. You get a free t-shirt as soon as you sign up. You pick one from our merch store, and they're pretty badass. Not pretty badass. They're quite badass. That's about a $36 value right there. And yeah, and we need to beat Philly. So if you don't do it for us, like you could just as an accidental byproduct get a one-stop shop for all of your DFW sport needs and support a bunch of incredible writers and creators, etc. You could do that as a byproduct for wanting to beat Philadelphia at something. So if that's your motivation, I'm good with that, because they won the Super Bowl, and no one that lives in that city deserves that. So they definitely don't deserve to beat us at anything.
They've won 2 Super Bowls in the last, how many years?
10 years.
I kind of track
They've been
Super
to
Bowls.
3 since I've been covering the Cowboys, okay? So they've won 2.
I track Super Bowls since the early 90s, and so I think the Cowboys are up 3-2.
Well, that's what Emmett
That's
says.
kind of the way I score.
That's what Emmett
We're up
says.
3-2.
Yeah.
Or 5-2.
5-2 is fine. They can
5-2
never
is
catch
good.
up. They've
Yeah.
only won 2.
Well, they might
might
Got a
catch
long
up.
way to go to
They-
catch Cowboys.
They might catch up.
Yeah, they
this
might
year.
get one this
They
year.
might catch up.
It's a pretty damn good team. But yeah, sign up to be a
But
diehard.
not the
Make sure
Giants.
that you do that on alldlls.com. You get the hookup. You stay in the loop with everything to do with all your DFW teams. We have a Discord server now with over 1,000 fellow DFW diehards in there where you can hang out. You get your little carrying card. You get discounts on merch and events, all those different things.
And in the Discord, people talk sports all night long. You guys still have not muted
2 minutes.
my notifications. I'm sorry.
I'm just like, I'm just gonna let it go. Just gonna let it happen. You just got to watch the timer. 2 is the end.
I looked.
Dude,
when
I know,
talk.
I saw you.
I look when I talk.
We're cruising. We're broadcasting. We're having a time. Let's knock out our super chats before we get into some of the very latest rumorooskies before we get set to go drafting tomorrow. 6:45 p.m. You want to be here. So we won't be here at our regular time tomorrow because our show is going to be the draft.
The whole draft.
Join us at 6:45 p.m. Justin's in the super chat with the need at cornerback. Why haven't we heard more discussion about getting Douglas, Fuller, or Samuel other than the comp pick consideration?
Or Gilmore.
Stephon Gilmore was in the building yesterday. I mean, you guys are the information guys.
I'm not buying that it was an accident.
My logic guess is, yeah, that means that he's the Zeke of this year. Where like that's if we don't get a guy in the early rounds, then we'll sign Stephon Gilmore. And I don't mean in terms of how he performed.
Yeah, don't do that. Don't put that on Gilmore.
I mean, he's waiting in the wings
Yeah,
for if we don't get something we
he
like.
can still play. First of all, Samuel's hurt. Is that Samuel?
Yeah,
it's not
yeah,
the Samuel.
yeah.
So he hasn't signed with anybody for those reasons. You guys out there that haven't signed, there's something going on why they haven't signed. So it's not just the Cowboys.
Night 405. I do love this question. Which running backs are Marshawn Lynch comps?
Got a boat.
You know
Got
one
a
of them.
boat.
You know one of them, Joe.
Oh, that's right. Jordan James, Oregon.
Oh, stop.
When I watched Oregon's running back, I typed in, "Oh my God, he's mini beast mode." Like he's just
Mini.
I think he's smaller than Marshawn, not by a ton.
It don't work,
Not by a ton.
but it don't work when you're smaller.
But
Now.
plays like that.
You can't be beast mode when you're smaller.
All right, you want one
He'd be beast
bigger?
mode to you.
Ollie Gordon. No, there's a bunch of dudes
Ali
that are.
Euless Trinity.
Trinity High School, baby.
I like Ollie Gordon at Oklahoma State. I like Damian Martinez at Miami.
Louisville High School.
James says they don't like Damian.
That's fine. I'm missing at
They
least.
don't like Damien?
Somebody said that
I'm
on
missing
Twitter
at
this
least
morning.
one. Let me pull up my rankings, which you can find on my Twitter
That's interesting.
or my X. I don't know. I feel like there's another hammer guy that I like that I'm not thinking of his name right now. Here we go. Running backs.
Jaquin Jackson is kind of a short yardage.
Quinshon Judkins is a hammer. Who'd you say?
Jaquin Jackson's a short yardage kind of. He's not really like
former
a hammer
Duncanville
velocity
quarterback,
guy, but short yardage guy.
Yeah.
Scattaboo.
I kind of did them all. Yeah. I have no idea where Scattaboo's getting drafted. Like
You see that he's on the Cowboys odds for 12?
really?
They don't make no
Like
sense.
high-
That's
insanity.
stupid. They don't know what
It's-
they're
like,
don't
Again,
waste your money,
they don't know what
please.
they're talking about.
Don't waste your money.
I've seen people who have him in their top 3 running backs in this class, but more often than not, I feel like I see him between like 6 and 10, and he's even lower than that for me. My guess is he's a day 3 guy, but I don't know. I have no idea. He's one of the wild ones.
He screams 4th round or 5th round.
yeah, I agree
Yeah.
with you.
Let's get Finn. You can
let's
say
get
his
to
last
Finn.
name.
Why does he want to talk about you? The same reason Malik
No.
Neighbors was better than Marvin Harrison Jr., while also playing with lesser QBs, and the same reason Golden is wide receiver 1 in this class: speed, route running, and separation.
How come Finn?
Oh yeah, that's why you wanted that one.
No, I didn't
Okay,
even
yeah,
read it.
yeah.
I just saw it. I can't even see it.
Just wanted to
I'm just trying to get through it.
I think that's fine if you think that Matthew Golden's wide receiver 1. McMillan is for me. I'm tempted to make Ibuka wide receiver 1 for me. Jumble them together. They're different.
I love Ibuka.
I do not have a clear feeling. Like, I'm not as steadfast in my rankings of the top wide receivers as I have been in certain years. And I did like Neighbors better than Marvin Harrison. Travis is in the super chat. This time last year, who did all of you think would be drafted in the first round? Tyler Guyton.
I thought it might be Jordan. Was it Jordan Morgan, the kid from Arizona? Another
Dude,
offensive.
I was actually hoping for that, and I didn't think they would because I didn't feel like he was as measurable as they like.
Yeah.
Like in terms of the how long are arms and all that stuff.
He had short arms, yeah.
And I actually liked Jordan Morgan. There was the Duke center. I thought it was a
Graham
chance he would
Barton?
be. Graham
Who I
Barton.
think, to be honest with you, if he wouldn't, when they traded back, I think that they were,
If he had made it.
if he would have made it to win, and they might have taken Graham Barton. But then they might not have taken Cooper Beebe.
Okay, you guys want to shoot down any of this?
They take a running back in the 3rd round. You're a guy from Wisconsin or Oregon. Who's the running back with Tampa?
Oh, Bucky Irving.
They would have taken Bucky Irving.
They should have taken him in the first.
Yeah, Bucky Irving's a wonderful player. The athleticism testing guys that people are now obsessed with at almost every position at running back, throw it out the window. It doesn't matter. Like, if you want to care about anything, be like, oh, look at his broad jump or his shuttles. Like, I don't care about his 40 time. I don't care about his height and weight all that much. Running backs don't have a direct opponent. I do not care about their relative athletic score. Their job is to follow the blocks and have incredible contact balance and hopefully be shifty and hopefully run fast. But no individual thing matters all that much. So don't worry about athleticism and running backs, okay? That's how you get Bucky Irving drafted 3 rounds too late.
Boom.
His tape said he should have been drafted earlier.
He was a stud. Try to tell him.
I'm sorry, Cliff.
What
Don't
did
be
Cliff-
sorry.
Why does Clarence yell so much?
It's
No,
okay.
Clarence, we love you. You don't yell too much. We think you're great. And we think you're great too, Clint. So there's no reason to worry about other people. Just worry about you and that we think you're great. Jane Slater with a tweet about basically emptying her notebook of things she's hearing about the Cowboys. That they like Tetairoa McMillan. This is a weird combination. So, like, James Pierce, the Tennessee pass rusher, is a guy that she says they have interested in and says character issues means not a day 1. So James Pierce potentially is a 2nd round pick. That is the Tennessee pass rusher who
I like the talent a lot.
I like him-ish. Like, to me, he is
Randy Gregory.
Like, he is first step is a bat out of hell, and the rest of it is kind of like, we'll see. Like, he's just a first step is a bat out of hell guy.
I'd take that in
And that's
round.
good.
I'd take that in round
He
2.
likes to smoke weed like Randy Gregory.
What? No, we're
No,
not.
that's
I'm
not-
not
that's not the
projecting
comp.
that sort of thing. Arizona wide receiver Tetairoa McMillan that they like says, Jane said, I'm told knowing Kellen Moore, the concern is the Saints will grab Tetairoa McMillan. Running back won't happen in round 1 unless something crazy happens, but keep an eye on Bayshul Tootin in round 2. In round 2 for
Could
the
be.
Cowboys.
Yeah, 30 visit guy. I mean,
Darn tootin'.
yeah, they probably, I mean, fast. I could see them liking him.
He's a weird evaluation. I'll tell you that right now.
Yeah.
I'll give you a thumbnail on Bayshul Tootin. I mean, he has the initial quickness, the tackle breaking ability, the long speed, the home run speed. Like, he has a lot of the things that you really, really, really want in a running back. And he drops the hell out of the ball, fumbles the hell out of the ball, and their offense is wonky. And I don't know if he has good vision. Like,
That's. I don't know if you take that in round 2.
it's. I don't know. I could see him being like a Devin Achan, where as a rookie, it's like, holy crap, nobody picked this guy until like the third round and he just keeps breaking off 60-yard runs. Like I could see that happening.
Yeah.
Or I could see him being buried on a depth chart because he drops the ball over and over again and he fumbles the ball and then he doesn't see the lane that he's supposed to go in. He is the other wild card running back to me. For those who have asked about Kelvin Banks, sounds like the Jets might scoop him up before the Cowboys. That's what I like to hear.
I think Kelvin Banks is going top 10.
People have been tearing down my guy Kelvin Banks all along. Retribution, baby. Kelvin Banks is a beast. I would love him at 12.
We've been saying it, Jeff. We've been saying Kelvin Banks is a stud.
We like us some Kelvin Banks. Clarence doesn't. Clarence isn't a big Texas guy. No. But we wouldn't steer you wrong. Kelvin Banks can play. If he makes it to 12 and the Cowboys pick him, be happy. And then the other names that she mentioned, Walter Nolen and Matthew Golden. So keeping an eye on those names. Tetairoa McMillan, Walter Nolen, James Pierce, Matthew Golden, Bay Shill, Tootin. Is there anything about that you want to say that's full of crap, Jane?
Rootin' tootin'. Somebody, Jeremy, I'm with you, Jeremy. Rootin' tootin'. Jerry wants to say rootin' tootin'.
Jerry would love to say rootin' tootin'.
Darn tootin', rootin' tootin'. Cowboys in 5.
I think she's on it.
Nothing would make Jerry happier than being able to make tootin' t-shirts. Something about tootin'.
What would be the all-name draft for the Cowboys? First round, Diehard Campbell.
I do want Jerry to have to say Diehard all the
That
time.
boy Diehard.
Second round, Tootin.
We're going to do a Diehard.
Third round, Elijah Huzzy.
Huzzy's great. Huzzy is so good.
Want to do a Diehard.
Because I think when you're, should just not.
No.
There's a microphone here.
No.
Well, you know, like there's words that you don't say to people,
No.
right?
Yes.
But two of the words that I really like, because I think that when you're talking to a female friend, they know that you're joking, but you want to use a negative word, but you just are doing it to be funny.
What is that word?
I like hussy and floozy.
Yeah. Floozy's good. Yeah.
I like hussy and floozy. Aaron's in the super chat.
How dare you call me up?
Oh, it is Aaron. Womp.
Eberflus, the linebacker whisperer, early round linebacker sleeper pick. Who would you want to go with Leofau and Overshown?
Carson Schwessinger is the sleeper.
Schwessinger. I knew you were going to say that.
Schwessinger is the sleeper.
Schwessinger is the dude. Like, was he really?
Who's the
Because I
linebacker?
keep referring to him as like a slightly undersized, incredible running back, and I think people are like, he was 240 something pounds. I'm like, he didn't play at 240 something.
No, he plays.
He played at
light.
220. Like
Yeah.
he was, but he's a really good player, and I think Diehard Campbell is an awesome player too. But what I hear from some people
He's a Jihad.
is that Diehard Campbell, Alabama linebacker, who I think is a wonderful player. What I hear is it's very standard Alabama linebacker stuff.
Oh, like Reuben Foster's standard?
No.
I'm sorry. I guess I need to explain what the standard Alabama linebacker stuff to me means. They go to the combine, and after the combine, NFL teams start whispering to people they know about their medicals.
Oh,
And
yeah.
they're like, I mean, his knee, both shoulders, his neck. Alabama linebackers, they just get banged up.
Yeah.
And apparently that is a concern with him, is something to do with a shoulder and maybe other stuff.
Yeah.
Like, Bama linebackers, they just hit people and they hurt themselves. And that's the way it goes. If he's a linebacker whisperer, can't you get away with a later investment? I don't know. Did the Cowboys, do you view linebackers a huge need? I think that one, I'll accept what they did in trades and free agency as I'm surviving this year on that.
Yeah.
And Overshown's coming back, and that's
I would agree with that.
and that's fine.
Yeah, I think they're okay.
And then a year from now, maybe we could talk about some linebacker things. Hopefully Leofau takes some strides.
I mean, late in the draft, 4th, 5th, especially 5th, 6th, and 7th round, you're going to do best player available. You're going to find some guy with traits. You're going to find something they like. It could be linebacker. It could be one of those positions. I don't think it's an urgency. But if the guy is available, is the best guy on the board, has the best traits or something that you like about him, they can take him for sure.
With that being said, if they took Schwessinger at 44, I wouldn't be shocked. Like, I think
I think that's about where he's going to go.
I'm just talking about from a need and
For
urgency
sure.
standpoint.
For sure,
You
yeah.
know,
And I think in his case,
it's like they'll take a guard late. They're not taking one at 12, but they're taking one late.
please take a guard at 12. Take Kelvin Banks. And then what Clarence is going to do is be like, well, they took a tackle, but we're going to have the post-round press conference where they're going to say they're moving him to guard. But Clarence, to be right, is going to be like, right, but he played tackle.
Mm-hmm.
So, like, that pick would be fine, right? Are you saying that could not happen?
Zach Martin played tackle in college too, got moved to guard. If somebody who is a great athlete, physical trait, I'm saying they're not drafting a pigeonholed guard, a traditional guard, stiff body guard at 12. But no versatility.
Yes, because I have solved the riddle of this super chat. I will read your full name. Can you all get Jeff to say my full name, please? Yes. Finn Germ Yas.
Jeremias.
I know what they
Jeremias.
want me to say
Jeremias.
based on the letters there.
Oh,
And
wow.
you will not get that
Yeah, I
from
didn't.
me.
That went over my head for beginning.
Jeremias.
Should we do a rapid fire, by the way? Who they're going to pick, really quick?
Who are they going to pick? Number 12 overall, your official prediction. Be here with us tomorrow at 6:45 p.m. when we get our draft coverage started. Who are they gonna
Golden.
pick? Matthew Golden.
Golden in a trade down.
Oh, we're predicting a trade down?
Yeah, Golden in a trade down.
That's my perfect. I want
I mean,
that.
that'd be great. I just don't think they'll get the trade down.
I think I want a Booker on a trade down.
I think Booker will go before Golden. That's why I'm saying Golden in a trade down.
I'm going to stick with my official prediction is that the Cowboys will select Tetairoa McMillan at number 12 overall. And I think
Receiver.
that will be totally fine.
Wide receiver.
All right. We love you guys. See you tomorrow, 6:45 p.m. We got you. Remember, you have no idea what anybody's going through, so be cool to everybody. We love you. Be easy.
Watch draft night tonight.
Don't.
We all silly like the mayor.